Hi everybody, well would you believe it's time for a 4-year review on the VFR 1200. I've had it 4 years yesterday, but just before I go on to it, just returned from holiday yesterday. We were away for nearly 3 weeks, and this is the beauty of modern Japanese motorcycles. I say modern. This thing will just start up on S of start, I reckon. So I've just took the chain off, chained up the two bikes while I was away. I've put the key in, and this is going to be my first start in over 3 weeks actually. Going to look a right turn now if it doesn't work. Press the button. They're absolutely fabulous things, aren't they? Modern motorbikes. Absolutely brilliant. ABS light flashing because my battery will be a bit low. Anyway, let's get on with the review. So yeah, here we are, 4 years later, 4 years of ownership. My God, that's flew past. So let's have a look at this 4-year review, and it's the day after that first bit that I just put in there about the starting up, because it bucketed down shortly after that intro, as it usually does. Anyway, let's get on with it. So just a quick recap for those of you that haven't seen my channel before. Bought the bike in 2020, June 13th, in sort of the lockdown year, and it had 16,500 miles on it. Let's have a look at the mileage now. So as we can see, that's 39,628. So I've put on over 23,000, coming up to 24,000 in the 4 years. The last 12 months have been a little bit more eventful and more of what I wanted to use the VFR 1200 for, and that is European touring. Tripping to the Alps in September last year, and a shortest trip to Germany in May of this year. Now, the problem I have with this 4-year review is that I've just watched my 3-year review, and pretty much everything I said there stands for this sort of video. So what I'm going to do at the end of this video is I'm going to put on a rundown of the total running costs of the VFR over the 4 years. Now, total running costs won't mean a lot to you unless you've kept a sort of list of your own, but it gives you some idea of how reasonable these things are to run, particularly if you buy them at the right time and the right price, and you've got the time and shall we say know-how to service them. Now, as you know, if you've followed my channel for a while, I don't like to modify the bike too much, but I did have to replace the shock this year, which I'll mention in the running costs. It was getting a bit bouncy. I would say that I could have lived with it for another year or so, but aesthetically it was looking very poor, and every time I cleaned the bike and looked at it, I thought I really need to do something with that. So I did change it, but it hadn't broken, as it were. Nothing on this bike is broken apart from a couple of bulbs. I of course had to replace my top box, but that was my own stupid fault for letting it fall off in the first place. So I don't really count that as a cost. So what's grown on me more over the last year then of ownership? Well, I think because I got those 2 European tours in, that high-speed touring thing, which is what I bought it for. When I did the video on the 5 things I really like about the VFR, you'll notice stability came up high on the list. And really that's where I sort of like confirmed that like, because the high-speed touring on the autobahns with full luggage, the thing is absolutely so planted. I can't think of any place I'd rather be than sat on that at high speed. And I know lots of other bikes can do it. My ZX9, my Phaser, my Firestorm, they could all do that quite well, but you know when you can't quite explain something but you can recognise it? That sort of thing. Just right, just built for it. But let's not forget, yeah, I'm 67 now, but still a sort of like a sports bike lover at heart. And when you get off the autobahns, when you get off the touring bit, you take the panniers off, you're back to a pretty good and competent sports bike with still that comfort and that reassurance that it's not going to get out of hand. Two sides to it. Brilliant, that. And I must admit, I've ridden a couple of the new style adventure bikes, and of course my friend's GS, I put some miles on it, and they are fantastic things, but I don't know, I still come back to loving the looks of a sports tourer. It must be just in me, and I know a few of them have cropped up lately, but still a bit thin on the ground trend-wise, and I would love Honda to bring out another VFR, but I don't know, we'll see. So 4 years, just over 23,000 miles, not had any big issues with it. I'm going to come on to that in a minute. Loved every mile. Don't think I could have made a better choice at the time, and probably now, apart from the fact that they stopped making them. Where do we go now? That's the thing. But anyway, let's not ponder on that. Let's just have a look at these. Let's just have a look at these running costs over the last 4 years. It's pretty basic, but it'll give you an idea. So let's have a look at these running costs, all sort of estimated. By the way, you can tell what a nerdy type I am. I have a map there in the dining room of some of the places we've actually stayed over at in the car and the bike in Europe. So purchase price of the VFR was 4,600. I bought it private. I just sold the Phaser a few days before for 2,300, so my outlay was only 2,300. Servicing including 3 sets of tyres and that replacement shock, 1,312. It was a sort of a used shock, but I hadn't done many miles. It was a Honda shock. Tax has been 324 for the 4 years, about £9 a month. Insurance, £500 over the 4 years. And I've estimated fuel at about £1.50 per litre, 44 miles a gallon, which I roughly get over a year. 3,579. Total running cost then for 23,000 miles, 5,715. Cost per mile, 24p per mile. If you look at any cost per mile on new bikes, you'll find it's much, much higher than that. If you put it on a monthly basis over 4 years, 48 months, it's probably only around £119 a month to run the VFR, the petrol, the insurance, servicing, because I've serviced it myself, of course. Now, I haven't had it in depreciation, but, well, I paid 4,600 for it. Has it depreciated much since then? I mean, what's it worth? 4 maybe? So, really, that hasn't really come into the equation at all. So, running costs for a big 1200 V4, I think have been very, very good. I'm really pleased with that. So, there we are. 4 years with the VFR 1200. Mainly good. Yes, there's been niggles. Those fairing panels, as you know, are a pain in the backside. Changing the headlamp bulbs, which I've had to do a couple of times, and that's all that's broken on it, is a pain in the backside. And I do apologise. I forgot to mention the front wheel bearings that I have replaced. They were feeling a bit gritty, so I thought I better change them. So it may not be the easiest of bikes to work on, but to ride and to own, it's absolutely brilliant. Thanks again for watching. Bye.